Hello everyone and welcome to another ESL Go4 Europe Cup. This is number 87 and this is at Watkins Glen, a track I have never raced at, and I had to learn in one day because this is one day after the multi-class. So we're going to set off, and as you can see there straight away someone gets a jump start, which worries me straight off the bat really, because I'm hoping to qualify for the next multi-class. That's my main aim here. So the fact someone's jumped me is a little bit worrying. Now behind you'll see is TIdgney mate, and we were talking earlier on just saying that, you know, we'll just want to qualify. We'll get to the final and then we'll have a race, but before then we just want to qualify. But the fact that this guy Charlie jumped the start, a little bit worrying. Another thing with this lobby, we found, well, a few drivers found that it felt completely different to what they practiced, and I felt the exact same thing as they did basically. So you'll see me driving slightly stranger than usual. But even so, we carry on, and well, at this point I am hoping Charlie did jump start the start and he just didn't get an epic one like Stephen the other week. But even so, the top 6 in this qualify for the next round, so I'm not too worried. As long as I qualify, it doesn't bother me too much. So I'm not going to push like crazy to try and catch Charlie up. He's obviously on a good lap. I'll just settle down here. I know the guy behind me, TIdgney mate, he just wants to qualify. And then the guy behind him, I think is Ace. I'm not 100%, but if it is, I assume he just wants to qualify as well. That's the main aim here, is just to get to that final, so we've qualified. Now, Johan was racing in another lobby. Now, if he makes the final, it then becomes semi-finalist. Well, the person who came 7th in this first semi-final then qualifies, and so on and so forth. Charlie just nips into the pit there. Which is very kind of him a little bit, because he could have carried on for a few more laps, built up a gap and then stayed out, but even so he goes in the pits. I carry on. I noticed that the guy behind mate has dropped off as well. As I say, I think that's Ace he's called, and as he's dropped off we can sort of chill a bit here, and you'll see TIdgney mate catch me up in the slipstream but then back off, which is very kind of him. But obviously, as I say, we talked to each other and we just said, let's make sure we qualify here. Do you know what I mean? Why risk this? So one thing I suppose to suggest really is, when you're racing, think smart. Like, you're not going to win the prize money in the qualifier. You need to make the final. So I've just jumped a bit further on in the lap, and at the moment I'm sort of testing the water really here of why the car's acting funny and not the way I'd practiced with. So as I come around this left-hander, I just run all crazy, nearly lose it, and I think, oh dear, okay, Martin, don't do that. Got close to the wall, that's not too bad, I'm not too worried there. But I'm just thinking, calm it down. I mean, a 1:32.1, so slow for me that around this track. And just coming through there, I just had a bit of a wiggle there as well, so I think, right, I'll let off. I'll let TIdgney mate go, maybe it's just me. I'll let him go, I'll just pull him behind, and I'll just have a casual race to the finish. And that's what we do. So that is literally all the qualifier is me and mate just going all the way through to the final lap and making sure we qualify for the next round, the semi-final. And as you can see, we both come across the line. He brakes, I'm flashing, we're all happy, and you can see I'm happy down the left, and you can see lap times there, 1:32.1, my fastest. What? But now let's jump to the semi-final. This one's a bit more tricky. I'll start on pole once again. We've got Johan in this time, so we know Johan's a quick driver. So I'm just preparing now. Off we go. No jump starts this time. I get a really good start, to be fair. I pull ahead of Johan. But this is all about learning for the final. And we come into this first corner. Now, P1 at this track is a real just bummer, I'd say. I mean, you can see Johan's all over me. And we've got this long acceleration period. I mean, it's flat out for ages. So slipstream is a big thing here. And you can see Johan getting closer, goes to my right, and at this point, again, as I just said, I'm looking to just qualify for the final. Once I'm in the final, I'll race to my heart's content. So I just back off, I'll let Johan through, and then I continue on racing. Someone behind has just gone off, and then we've got TIdgney mate, who's now there in 3rd place. So I'm happy with where I am here. I am going to push Johan a little bit, because I want to start to learn where his strengths and weaknesses are on this track. Because, yes, I want to qualify, but, you know, cheeky €50, I won't mind winning that as well. So, we're just advancing a bit further ahead. So, I've just pulled the gap up a little bit here. So now I'm going to start testing the waters with this slipstream, really getting a good idea of this. As I've said in the past, Dirty Air isn't as bad on the PC, which is always handy, but a bit too far back there to make the move. Through here I go, and someone mentions about a great race there. I assume they're watching this part of it because he was in the pits at the time. So Johan was fairly strong in that chicane. I've sneakily since watched his live stream and I now know why he was strong in that chicane. So I am, if I ever race here again at Watkins Glen in the LMP2, I know what I'm going to do. Basically, he was just staying in 5th gear rather than dropping to 4th straight away, and that settled the car over the bumps, whereas I dropped to 4th and it would always wheel a bit. But even so, I carry on. And as I say, the aim here is to qualify. We're on lap number 3, so nearly halfway through already. And you can see Johan making mistakes here, so I'm learning quite quickly where his weaknesses are. I go for the inside, do I do it? No, I don't. Johan just comes across a little bit there. I have to pull out of it, otherwise there's an accident. And as I keep saying, as long as I qualify for that final, all my main goal is to qualify for this multi-class, because I want to get that challenger title. That's my aim. While there's €50 on the line here and everything like that, even if there was no money in this challenger class, you can see there just playing with Johan with the pressure a little bit. But as I say, if there was no money for the challenger, I'd still be going for that title, because I want to show what GTA is about and what I'm about, and I want a title to my name. So we continue on, and I'm a bit closer than last time to Johan now with a slipstream. So let's try get a little bit closer into the chicane. Let's work out what's going to happen here. Do I go for it? Do I go for it? Do I go for it? No, I don't. I'm still not close enough. So I'm just working out the gaps here, working out where it's where I can make my manoeuvre there. And you can see I lost a lot of time there through the chicane. Too wide into that, doesn't really go. So we advance a bit further into the lap now. And someone's just about to come out the pits. I didn't realise they'd just come out the pits, actually, to be honest with you. But even so, it was chasing on. Johan here runs a bit too wide there. I knew he'd ran too wide straight away. He's got a shortcut penalty of 5 seconds. Now, a shortcut penalty on the first corner here is absolutely massive. It is like 5 seconds. It is crazy. But even so, I'm in the lead now, and I've caught up to that guy who pitted. So I'm just flashing here. Now, I suppose this is one smart thing to look at with lapping cars is you need to try and settle down. So this guy goes way off to the left and affects his entire lap. Just needs to settle down a little bit. Make sure to give the leaders room, but make his own way around the track. As you can see, we've fast forwarded to the final lap of the semi-final, about to come round, and through we go. And you're going to see how happy I am in the bottom left, because, as I say, my main goal was to qualify, and I qualify. So now I'm happy. And now we can go to the final race for a really good race. Now you can see there 1:31.4, so that's why I said the first lobby was a bit weird, because that was a 1:32.1. Back to normal there, 1:31.4. I can actually go much quicker than that as well. So the final, using what I've learnt from the semi-final with Johan. Johan's in second place again. Let's give it a go. So I get an even better start this time, so I can come straight over and try and take a better line. Johan had a better line here. Now, I come in a bit tight here, ruins my exit completely, and you'll see Johan really catch up. Now, he's not on the TV camera, strangely, but even so, we carry on. And you see how close Johan is. So I've already made my decision here. Wait to see my decision. That's right, I'm staying to the right this time. I'm going to try and make him go the long way round. Now, he's not far enough over. I know he's not far enough over. He has to back out of it, so I continue on through here. Now, just through this corner, I get a slight nudge off the back of him. And now I'm on the outside as we come round. Unfortunately, the TV camera doesn't show how close we were there, but we were fairly close. So into this left-hander. And now I've always been good through here. In the semi-final, I was always faster through there than Johan. So I knew I could stick that line. So I thought I'd stay in the middle of the road here. And again, this part of the track, I am extremely quick. And I pull away from Johan. Now, we saw in the semi-final, Johan was struggling in the last sector. He was struggling in the last sector here as well, and that's my strong point, this last sector. So I come in, you can see Johan just understeers a bit more than me. That gap increases as we head to this left-hander. This left-hander is really, really tough, I've got to say. To nail it right, you've got to be proper on it. But even so, we carry on, and you can see the gap now up to 6 tenths. I'm going to come around this left-hander and nail this pretty well there, and then we go to the right-hander, and you'll see the time just ever increasing up to 8 tenths now. And we head towards the start of the line, and that was really the end of the final straight away. So I built that gap, and I just went for it. So now you're going to see the fastest lap of the race, and it is on the final lap. I did that in the previous race, so 1:31.3 there. My fastest lap in the previous race was the 1:31.4. So you can see I'm building speed up, speed up, speed up. My pole lap here was a 0.2. Wait till you see this lap. So up this hill we go. Now, one thing to note actually with these cars while on the straight, when the multi-class comes here, you're going to see the biggest gap difference between the classes that I think we'll see anywhere, and it could get a bit tasty because GT cars are going to have to brake a lot more than the LMP do. So we've got a 27.0 there, first sector. You are actually looking for a 0.8 first sector there, so I'm 2 tenths down on my PBs. And we do that very nicely there. Continue on to this right-hander. This right-hander, I love this corner. I don't know why I like it so much, but you can just power through it, and the line is so nice. Through there I go. I get a 28.7. 28.6 is my best, but we continue on. Now this right-hander is horrible. You'll see lots of people run wide here because it draws you out basically. It starts off wide, goes thin. It's a bit hard. Same here, it's a bit tough as well because you're lured to the outside where there's a tyre wall and a barrier. I've hit that a few times in practice. And then we've got this left-hander. So I use the grass here. Now I noticed Johan was using the grass there and also here, and I probably should have used it here. But even so, this technique seemed to work. So get through there fairly okay. I've lost a bit of time, a tenth or so there. And now I get a 35.6, I think that is, when in fact I should be in the 0.3s. But even so, 1:31.2, I'm fairly happy with that, not knowing the track the day before. But there we have it. I've won the €50. I've qualified for the multi-class. That's the end of this Go4. So thanks very much for watching. There's a playlist there if you want to watch some more. Hit my logo to subscribe. And that's it for now, so I'll see you next time.